Christine. Welcome to Book Talk. Today we are discussing a live book explosion book of the month. And I Darken by Kiersten White. My copy of And I Darken is very red. It's an art and it's a hot mess. I really need a finished copy to put on my shelf because this isn't cute. So And I Darken. Oh my gosh, I really enjoyed this book. And I feel like I learned a ton of crap about the Ottoman Empire, which I had virtually no knowledge of previously. And I Darken is the story of Vlad the Impaler if Vlad the Impaler had been a woman. But this is kind of the origin story of Vlad the Impaler if Vlad the Impaler was a woman, because it starts from the birth of Lada, who is female Vlad the Impaler, and we follow her all the way up to her teenage years, and she's not Vlad the Impaler yet. She's not that yet. This is the first book in a trilogy, and I'm so excited to read more. I really love Kiersten White's writing style. She says things in such beautiful ways and provides all this beautiful imagery. It's wonderful. Lada has a reason for everything and every way she acts. We see from both her point of view and her younger brother, Radu, who is in many ways Lada's opposite, and hearing from their point of views back and forth is really interesting. And I was expecting And I Darken to be super violent because everyone was like, oh, it's so violent, she's so violent. And I'm just like, I'm at the end and I'm like waiting for these violent parts. And it's not that violent, okay? If you watch television in the year 2016, this is nothing. This is fine. This is a great amount of violence. The characters in the story are so well put together and developed, and you follow them through so much. Lada's story is an inspiring one in many ways. She's a strong female character in this time where women were very much just around to produce heirs. And she continuously defies what is expected of her. I love her relationship with her brother and watching it evolve throughout the story. It's really good, and I highly recommend picking it up, especially if you're looking for a change, because it was really different from anything that I've read lately. I think the cover is gorgeous. I would give And I Darken an A. I think that's all I'm gonna say in this non-spoilery section. It was really good. If you haven't read it yet, go pick it up, read it, come back, and we can discuss it together. Okay? Okay. Bye, non-spoilery peoples. Goodbye. Okay, so I read And I Darken over a really extended period of time, so my memories of the beginning aren't as good as they were when I started reading it. I took notes, and I can't find those notes. I've been looking all over for them, but I have to film this video. What I most strongly remember from the beginning is the scene on the ice. That scene on the ice, it made me cry. It was the first time we really saw Lada really care and get scared and fear for the loss of her brother, and that was beautiful. And I was so scared for Radu, and Radu finally realized that his sister loved him, that his sister cared. I love how she would always stand up for him when he needed it. But then there was that one time in Erdarine, I'm gonna pronounce everything wrong and I'm sorry, when the teacher was trying to control Lada and she didn't want to do what he was saying and threatened to hit Radu, and she had to let him hit Radu so that he wouldn't be able to use Radu against her. And Radu never understood that. He thought at that moment Lada stopped caring. She didn't. She never did. I loved watching their relationship, and it hurt so much when she had to go on without him. And poor Radu's in love with Mehmed, and they're both in love with Mehmed. I like Lada and Mehmed together. But then there's sometimes where I really don't trust Mehmed. Like how he didn't tell Lada that her father had died. When that happened, I was like, dude, she's gonna be pissed. At the end, when Radu chose Lada over Mehmed, I was in tears. I was so nervous when that guy stabbed Lada in the side. I gasped so loud, Ilias. And that's all we see. And then we see from Radu's point of view, and the next we see of Lada, she's swirling around, bringing hell down upon everyone around her. But at the same time, she's losing a lot of blood because she's been stabbed. All Lada ever did was protect Mehmed from being killed. Every time she killed someone, it was because they were gonna assassinate Mehmed. Sometimes it wasn't clear, but it came to be clear that they were all assassination attempts. And the whole concept of the harem, everything sucks being Lada. That scares me. Like, once you walk into the harem, you are property of the Sultan? Ew. That sounds like the worst. I was so scared when Lada went in there the first time. I was like, wait, can she never leave? But she leaves. But I hate how Mehmed also thinks it's his duty to go have sex with everyone in the harem. It's just like a thing he has to do. And then he has those kids and he never tells Radu or Lada about them. I don't trust him. And at the end, when Radu said that he will not come with Lada back to Wallachia, I panicked. I honestly, because all this violence hype is surrounding this book, thought that when we started that chapter and Lada was like, she had to put armor over her heart and she had to be strong and all that shit, I thought she was gonna kill Mehmed so that Radu would have to come with her. Because then if he's gone, then there's no one to love and she could take over everything ever, maybe. I don't know. She didn't. She just demanded that he make her Prince of Wallachia. Radu stood by and comforted Mehmed and didn't come with Lada. And it broke my heart. It broke Lada's heart. It was very upsetting. There's no way that these two siblings, who are the only person that each other has in the world, can stay separated like this. They have to come back together in the next book. I feel like Mehmed has to die. I don't know how this is gonna happen. Like, does Lad the Impaler become the new ruler of the empire? I don't know what happens in history. So I don't know what to expect. I know we take Constantinople. Does Lada take Constantinople? Does she work with Mehmed to take Constantinople? What is gonna happen? Does Mehmed die and she takes his place? I know she's gonna have to be real tough. She's gonna have to be a real hard ass in the next book to take over Wallachia. She could do it, but it's gonna be brutal. And that, I think, is where the violence is really gonna kick in. I was waiting for Bogdan to come back this entire time. He and Lada did get married as children. I don't know what to think of Bogdan either. I was really suspicious that he had something to do with that uprising to kill Mehmed at the end of the book. I'm still suspicious. I feel like he was maybe involved in that. He wants to go back and take Wallachia. He doesn't want Mehmed in the picture because he can see that Lada and Mehmed are in love. I don't know what to think. So much suspicious political shit going down in this book, and I love it. I was so proud of Radu at the end. It was very upsetting when he had to kill Lazar. But Lazar, I was very mad at him when he sent that letter to Lada. Lada almost left before Mehmed came back because she thought Mehmed was dead. From that moment on, we had to be suspicious of Lazar. Like, we could interpret that as him trying to get rid of Lada for Radu, but at the same time, Radu and Lada are the only people they have in the world. That scene where Lada is in the bathing pool and Mehmed first comes back and they kiss for the first time, I thought that was so sweet, but the whole memory was immediately tainted when Radu walked up and they had to pretend nothing was going on, and we realized, you know, Radu is also in love with Mehmed and this is a hot mess. I appreciate how Mehmed appreciates Lada as an equal, but he's not being completely honest with her. I can't ship that anymore. I don't like that seed of jealousy that started growing the second we saw Bogdan. I don't like this harem shit. Lada shouldn't have to deal with that. If he would do anything to make it work with her, then he would stop having sons with other women. Oh my god, when Lada proposed that fratricide law, it's legal for the king to murder his brothers for the peace of the kingdom? Oh, that hurt. I know she had to say it. I know it had to be done, but the idea of a king making a rule like that, it sounded absolutely batshit. How is this a community that anyone would want to live in, where the king has a law that it's okay for him to murder his brothers? What comes next after that? If the king can do it, what's to stop that from trickling down into society? The king sets an example. I love how epic the last chapter was. Lada comes to terms with the fact that now that her father's dead, she's not the daughter of the dragon. She is the dragon. A dragon did not flee its land in the middle of the night like a criminal. A dragon burned everything around herself until it was purified ash. That's Lada for you. There is also this beautiful description of dance and why Radu enjoys it so much. I related to this passage so hard. There was something achingly right about moving together, guided by sound, everyone part of something bigger, giving up individuality to create something beautiful. He did not have to think or feel or be anything other than movement. That captures the idea of dancing and choreography so beautifully. It hit my heart. I was like, that poor Radu. I don't really want him to be with Mehmed because I don't think Mehmed deserves Radu. I want him to find love in someone new that can love him back. There's this moment in the bath earlier on in the book where Mehmed and Radu kind of have a romantic moment. At least that's how Radu interpreted it, and we were reading from his point of view. And I thought maybe there was something there, and like, who knows? Maybe Mehmed does swing both ways. Maybe there could be something there. But from what we've seen, it feels like he is in love only with Lada and only looks at Lada that way. I don't know what's gonna happen with him. I just want him to have a nice, happy life. And in the position he's put himself in right now, that's impossible. I want you to go back to Wallachia and find someone there where you're near Lada. I hope things work out. I have so much respect for Lada. She wants to be queen of Wallachia. She's clawing her way through every barrier set in front of her. She's so Mulan. How many times girls were reminded of Mulan in the story. There was even that section where she debated going into the city as a man and she tried on his armor and she had to like flatten her boobs. And there's that section where they get the gunpowder and she learns how to use it and she experiments with it and they collapse the mountain pass so that people wouldn't be able to get through there. Oh! Is that gonna come into play? Are we gonna pull a Mulan? I love watching Lotta succeed. I can't wait to watch her take back Wallachia. If you haven't checked it out yet, I have a book talk with Kierston White where we talk more about her characters and this series and the upcoming books 2 and 3. You can click right here to watch that. Thank you so much for watching. I am Christine. I am at XTINEMAY on Twitter. I make videos every Tuesday. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!